Monaco, Monaco. What are they feeding you? Monaco, Monaco. It's not your fault. Or is it? You see, not only does Formula One keep coming to Monaco in every year that we don't have a global pandemic, but it uses terms like jewel in the crown and a highlight of the year to describe the Monaco event. And yet, it's not, is it? It's a bit rubbish and kind of boring. So what can we do about it? I'm here to come up with some crazy ideas just to get the ball rolling, because I think crazy ideas is exactly what we need. But first...
The news. And this just in. People want to know what's going on in the world, but they are tired of slogging through traditional news because it's drier than Oscar Wilde in the Atacama Desert drinking Chablis from a sandpaper cup that's actually empty. Avid news coverage Rope Otter has abandoned traditional news, calling it the biggest snore fest of trumped-up worditude that made me yawn so hard that a bee flew into my mouth, and it was a queen bee, and now there's an entire hive in my mouth. Please send help. So as you can see, the old ways just aren't cutting it. But along comes Morning Brew, a new way to start your day with witty, relevant and informative takes on the daily updates in business, finance and technology. This week I learned that Vimeo went public on the New York Stock Exchange as part of a new strategy to differentiate itself from YouTube. You can subscribe for free in just a few seconds and get a relevant, succinct and punctually written newsletter into your inbox every morning. And why wouldn't you? And I'm being told viewers can click the link in the description to subscribe right now. Right now! And now it's back to Chainbear with the sport.
Thank you to our sponsor there. Right, Monaco then. First, the good. It's unique in that it's a genuinely brilliant track in terms of daring do, the actual landscape and the very limits of risk, challenge and opportunity it provides. It's a beautiful setting carved out of the Mediterranean coast with gorgeous buildings and a scary ribbon of track with real elevation change and barely a 90-degree turn in sight that dares you to kiss every barrier on the way round. And as such, qualifying is probably the best Saturday of the year. Monaco is a weekend for qualifying. Go as fast as you can without crashing and ruining your whole weekend in a car that isn't really designed to do it because no other track is like this one. It is rather brilliant. But as Formula One itself keeps on saying, everything is about the Sunday. That's the main event. That's what we're building towards. They emphasise this over and over again when discussing sprint qualifying and that any sprint races cannot be allowed to overshadow the main race. So with that in mind, we can't just say, enjoy Monaco for the Saturday, the Sunday isn't important. That's not what F1 is supposed to be about. So how do we make Sunday fun? By breaking the mould. Hard. Crazy idea 1. Super qualifying Sunday. Okay, so here's what you do. Forget the normal race. Racing is a procession no one can overtake, so just bin that as an idea. Monaco Sundays will be something new. On Saturday, we're going to do one-shot qualifying. Monaco is the best place for that, so we can watch every single car tackle every single spine-tingling corner in their one and only attempt to secure a fast time. We just send out cars one by one, that's it, one shot, that's all you get, like we used to do for a few years at the beginning of the century. But then comes Super Qualifying Sunday, in which every car gets 1 hour to set the fastest lap they can manage. Except it's staggered in 2-minute increments. With the assumption that the track will improve across the course of the session, the first car to go out will be the slowest car from Saturday. That car can head out onto the track as soon as the session begins. They can set a lap time whenever they want, but once 60 minutes are up, their session is over. The second slowest car will go second, and they are released from 2 minutes on the clock, and they can go until 62 minutes on the clock. The third car starts from 4 minutes and goes to 64 minutes, and so on until the fastest car on Sunday leaves at the 38-minute mark until the 1 hour 38-minute mark. So everyone gets an hour, but each person gets a slightly different hour, with slight advantage being given the better you did on Saturday. Lots of cars on track, but it's all about fastest laps, not overtaking, which is next to impossible. Ways to improve this further. You could have to score your best aggregate time from 3 laps from each 20-minute subsection of your allotted hour. So you can't just sit in the garage, you've got to be out there regularly trying to get 3 hot laps in 3 windows. This might be a little harder to follow, but with the staggered runs, drivers will be locking in their laps for each section one by one, and with the right graphics we can see just what laps are needed to come out on top. It's a bit bonkers, but it'll be exciting and frustrating and weird. And it'll be a test of Monaco prowess. Crazy idea 2, the Joker Lap. Okay, so in World Rallycross, they run a format of short races of about 5 laps around a short course with the rule that one of those laps, called the Joker lap, must take an alternate allocated route around part of the circuit which is a little bit longer, slower or trickier to navigate. You can take this Joker lap on many of your laps as long as you do it once, opening up strategy opportunities to essentially run an undercut or overcut on your rivals. So what if we added a Joker section to the Monaco track? Maybe here by using the roundabout just before the entrance to the tunnel. And instead of having to do the Joker once, maybe they have to do it once every 6 laps. Or maybe they have to do it 10 times over the whole race, whenever they wish, to add deeper strategic element to the whole thing. If you're stuck behind a rival that you're faster than, maybe you take the Joker route to give yourself a bit of space. Catch back up to them, take the Joker again to give yourself space. Then recatch them, and that way you're still right behind them but know you've got 2 Jokers on them. But of course in doing this you run the risk a rival might pit while you've Jokered yourself out of range, so there is risk and reward at play. The idea with bringing the Joker into play is to allow drivers to push and make a difference against their rivals in ways that they currently can't because they're stuck in an endless queue. What this does is essentially give them more pit stop-like opportunities to set hot sectors and make up time to the cars they're up against. So this was the seed of an idea, but we can do better. Crazy idea 3. The Mega Joker. Okay, so instead of some dinky little alternative route, what if we give them a real alternate route to follow? So as the cars go up the hill from Saint-Devote, the normal route would take them into the fast left-hander through Massenet. Or they could take the Mega Joker into a tighter left-hander up Avenue Princesse Alice, making their way to Boulevard Princesse Charlotte before wiggling their way to rejoin the main route into Mirabeau. Maybe they could call it the Two Princesses route. Obviously you'd need to work in some lane divisions to make the separation and rejoining safe, as with pit lanes and other safety features, but let's imagine it for a second. Let's say you have to do this alternate route 10 times a race. It's got new characteristics, a long fast section down Princesse Charlotte, perhaps an overtaking spot or 2. It's a way longer route than the main track past the casino, so taking it will obviously lose you time, same as taking a pit stop does. But just as with taking a pit stop, everyone has to do it, so it's also an opportunity to make up time. Can you use it to your advantage to come out on top, or will you be cruelly undercut? And if you are undercut through the Mega Joker early on, you still have the opportunity to settle the score later on. What the Mega Joker does is let Monaco do its Monaco thing. It'll still be hard to overtake on track. It's still going fast between the barriers, it's still a hair-raising challenge. But now we translate that qualifying adrenaline to racing conditions. If you can't push to overtake the car in front, you now have an opportunity to take one of your Jokers and push in an equally challenging part of the track. I don't know, I think it might be neat. Or crazy idea 4. Maybe we just fix the cars. F1 cars don't actually have a maximum length, but they tend to run as long as 5.8 meters and max out at 2 meters wide, not counting the wheels. And we already know they have very disruptive aero. But that's less of an issue in Monaco. Formula 2 had a tricky but ultimately scrappy and entertaining 3 races on the very same circuit, and those cars are only 5.2 meters long with skinnier wheels. Formula E finally raced on basically the same Monaco layout as Formula 1 just 2 weeks earlier in 2021, and those cars are less than 5.2 meters long, less than 1.8 meters wide, with a wheelbase 600mm shorter than Mercedes. They're torquey as hell and a right handful to drive. And what happened?
They're going to go side by side into the back! And Evans comes out in front and Gunter takes advantage and gets past to the outside for the lead of the race again. And flies it through. The Mirabeau, the Jaguar on the inside, the Techeetah on the outside, now the other way around.
Head down, max efficiency, max efficiency.
He's going for it now! Oh,
what a
move! Evans up through Beaurivard!
You have defenders to use.
Side by side, and here comes Da Costa, they make contact! And real end to the Ypres, and Frines gets second, does he? Yes! Frines to the line!
It was amazing. The thing is, we've got a lot of cool tracks on the F1 calendar that a lot of people hate, and some of them we dread going to, not because they're rubbish tracks, but because Formula 1 is incompatible with those tracks. The 2017 rule change to make the cars bigger and faster was the stupidest change I'd seen in decades. It hammered racing. But F1 doesn't have to be incompatible with its own tracks. And we are making a step forward with next year's regs, but I believe we can make these cars smaller and punchier without sacrificing speed or safety. It is completely feasible. And then maybe we can go to Barcelona and Sochi and Abu Dhabi and maybe even Monaco and have a whale of a time like some of the other cars do. That would be fun. Although I still want to do the Mega Joker thing, please.